So I had to redo my intro because I was doing something I was trying to leave in 2019. I didn't really do a lot of it in 2019, but I was acknowledging a lot of haters, in my previous draft of this video. And, just speaking on, what I should listen to and who has the right answers in terms of what is good music. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I feel like great music is in the eye of the beholder. It goes to the same thing with like relationships and women. Like, she may be the ugliest bitch in the world to me, but as long as you think she's beautiful to you, that's all that really matters at the end. And that's kind of the thing that holds a lot of people back in happiness. Anyways, man, I kind of just wanted to shy away from that. I didn't want to stick with that. So this is a new intro. But I'm glad that we got my list videos out. I think I did great this year, man. I was only one video into 2020. I did all my videos at the end of 2019. I was on time. I was very consistent. I'm kind of proud of myself in that regard. I think 2020 for me is going to be a great year. Definitely going to try to be on my grind. I'm going to try to push for 300K subscribers this year because I felt like lately I've, felt entitled. I felt like I deserved, a lot of subs, and looking back on it, for the last year and a half, I really didn't work as much as I should, as much as other channels, and I'm kind of taking the hit for that. So I understand what I need to do this year, and then I can complain if the end result doesn't come out of that. Anyways, we got our top 10 albums of the year. I decided last year I did the top 11. I did the top 11 last year. It was a wonky number. But this year I decided to keep it nice for the OCD people. We're going to keep it at 10. I did my honorable mentions. When I did my honorable mentions, I meant that those were albums that I loved, I liked. Wouldn't say they're the top of the year. There's some albums that I liked, that I were going to put on my list, but didn't quite make the list. Remember, these 10 albums are my 10 albums, all right? Don't get mad because, you didn't see blah, blah, blah here or blah, 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 blah on here. And you're just like, how could you not put that on here? Maybe that's what you liked. We got different music tastes. It is what it is. I'm not hating on your shit. Don't hate on my shit. With that being said, man, I want to get right into this. I don't want to talk your ears off. We'll save that for the end of the video. So, let's get started, man. All right, number 10 was a late bloomer. A lot of people really got mad at me because I didn't include Roddy Ricch's Hate That I'm Being Antisocial album. I think that's what it's called. Antisocial, that's what I just call it. But a lot of people got mad at me because I listened to it so late. So the fact that I only had a week to kind of just sit on it, I didn't think it deserved to be on my list. But K Renata also came out at the same time, but K Renata's album I listened to on my own time. I listened to it on stream, and I must say, man, I've been bumping that shit since it came out. I love the way, K Renata just flows from the start of the album all the way to the end. And while it may be, K Renata is only a producer, I felt like 99.9% K Renata was fire. This one right here, I felt like the features were more for me, what I'm saying? Having, Goldlink in there, having Estelle, having, Tinashe. I feel like that was probably one of the best tracks I heard from Tinashe in a while. And, it was very generic in terms of, the electric, smooth house music. I get it. But I feel like K Renata just stuck to what he knows best. He stuck to his sound. When you hear a K Renata project or you hear a K Renata track, you're going to know that because it sticks to that sound. He has a very distinct sound that he's not going to shy away from. And even having all these different artists and having all these different types of sounds, it's still going to be K Renata. And I think that's what I loved about it. I couldn't put it any much higher than 10 because at the end of the day, it is just, a lot of features on there. It's not really solely his project. But I felt like for it being at the end, it sounded like a summer banger just released in the winter. And I feel like for me, man, K Renata made my number 10. Bubble. Number 9, Goldlink Disapper. I knew I was missing one of the top 25 songs, and Days Like This had to be the song that I was missing. I was like, what am I missing from Goldlink? Because I know I jammed a lot when I looked at my list, and it was the one with Khalid. Khalid going in a different direction with the Days Like This. That don't make sense. I loved how it sounded real, just the beat just sounded real eerie. It was kind of really drawn out, kind of really haunting. I felt like that was one of Goldlink's best verses to date. Like his verses as how he attacked it, because usually Goldlink is really smooth with it. Goldlink really flows on the beat. He knows how to ride that shit crazy. Pause. But I felt like with this track right here, man, it was just so numbing, bro. Like I'm sitting there and I'm kind of just like, ooh, And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, why? Bruh, make more music like this and I will fuck with it. You getting a different sound out of Khalid? Let's not act like that's the only track on there, you know what I'm saying? He had a lot of Afrobeat influence on there with the track that he did. With Zulu Scream, you know, it had a lot of that Afrobeat, you know, had a little DC vibe in there, and a little mix with there with Malik Berry. I love Coke White with Pusha T. Coke White with Pusha T, the transition, because, you know, I felt like he catered to Pusha T's flow, giving him that kind of just like chill shit, you know, and letting Pusha, you know, Pusha got the slow flow. We get it. Pusha ain't gonna ever rap fast on this bitch. He gonna do his thing. He gonna hit a couple of those in there. We get it. Made self-made millions to the market. Like, he was flowing on that shit. I love that shit. You Say was another track on there. Had a little Afro beat in there. Like, you know, I think that's what the thing I loved about this project, that it had the Afro beat. A lot of Afro beats in here. Him being from DC, you're gonna get that all the go-go shit. I understand. I just love this project too. Another track that a lot of people slept on is Tiff Freestyle. Tiff's Freestyle, because I listened to Justine's freestyle on Colors, I expected it to be the same thing, but no, we got the and then the piano just dang 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 dang, like that shit right there, man. Production played a serious part in me choosing Disapper as one of my top 10 albums of the year. Disregarding the whole Mac situation, because I know a lot of people are really upset about the Mac situation and what he said. I don't agree with him either, but I'm not going to, you know, undermine his work because of something he said. He still put out a great album. Rumble was another track, you know, had a lot of culture on there with Jackson Wang. If I listened to Jackson Wang because of 88, the Asian artist, putting all the Asian artists on, you know, with you know, Rich Brian and all them cats on there. So I feel like, and Joji, I can't forget Joji. So I feel like him having that, you know, kind of culture just going. There's a lot of culture on this album as well, and I feel like he did it to a T. Justine looking beautiful as well on the album art cover. I just loved it, all right? I mean, it is what it is. I just love the sound of it. I didn't really get personal like a lot of you guys get personal, all right? That's just not. I wasn't going to get personal with him. Number 8 for me, Indigo, Chris Brown. Yes, it's long. All right, give me the next excuse. That's the only thing you can really complain about on this album, is that it is long. Yes, it is the pop Chris Brown. We got to understand that Chris Brown is a pop artist nowadays. Some sort of a rapper, pop rapper, whatever you want to call him, but he's going to make mainstream hits. He's going to make bangers. He's going to make dancing vibes. That's just something you got to understand with Chris Breezy now in 2019, 2020. You know, I feel like the first 9 tracks of the album was a no skip for me. Actually, the first 11 tracks, other than the Tiger track. Even then, though, that wasn't a bad track. That kind of just wasn't me. I felt like Tiger had better verses this year. I keep saying this year is 2020. But I feel like he just had better verses in 2019. And, you know, you see a lot of, like, you know, Sorry Enough being one of my top 25 tracks. Like I said, he poured his heart on there. You know, we obviously know he fucked up with Karrueche. That track could have been all about Rihanna as well. Just him apologizing. You could feel the pain. You get tracks like Red. You get tracks with featuring her. You get the self-titled track Indigo, Fire. I felt like, do you mind? Like, Chris Brown is talented, all right? He can sing. And again, another project I feel like people, you know, like to involve personal feelings with the artist. I feel like if Kendrick Lamar, right? This is hard, right? Imagine if Kendrick Lamar murked somebody. Would he still be viewed as the same best rapper, you know, of this decade? You know, one of the best rappers of all time? Would you guys still label him that if he murked somebody? You know, really think about that. So it's kind of where you got to separate the music from the person. O.J. Simpson was a great football player, but he did what he did. We all know. But you can't take away those stats and you can't take away those runs. All right, it is what it is. So I got to put Chris Brown there, man. You know, showcasing his talent like always. It was just the fact that it was too long. If this was 14 tracks of his best from Indigo, I felt like it would have been top 3 for me easily, because that's how great that album was. I mean, come on now. Listen to the album. 7, Freddie Gibbs, Bandana Madlib, man. Come on, man. Freddie Gibbs is probably one of the few actual rappers that I like in 2019. Like, when you think about the style of where rap is going, you know, whether that is mumble rap, whether that is emo rap, whether that is, you know, soulful rapping and then singing, you know, like a Drake. I feel like the day and age of boom bap rap, or as I like to say, boom pap, because it gets a lot of people angry. Boom pap rap is getting out of date. And it sucks, but it is what it is. You know, generations will evolve, not evolve, but they will transition, you know, and a certain sound will get old. But I felt like Freddie Gibbs kind of stuck with that and stayed with that conscious rap, but didn't make it boring. You know, that's what's really hard nowadays, is because Eminem is having the same problem right now. He's having the problem of he's spitting the most lyrical content, but it just sounds whack as fuck. All right, it's coming off whack as fuck. Whether that's his producer, whether that's how he's saying it, because sometimes I always tell you guys, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But Freddie Gibbs found that mesh, man. Madlib was another reason why that was probably there. But my favorite track on there being Palm Olive. I used to call it Palm Olivine. That's what I first said when I first listened to it. But the track with Pusha and Killer Mike, man, they were just going in on that shit. Pusha T probably had one of his best verses of his career on that track. Freddie Gibbs, I like the way Freddie Gibbs raps, and you know his whole situation that he had going on with overseas, international, that was really scary. And for him to still kind of just put this fire out. I felt like, you know, if this was a best rap album of the year, that's not another thing. Don't get my list confused with best rap album of the year. This is everything, all right? So I feel like if this was a best rap album of the year, then Bandana would be, you know, easily top 2, if not number 1. So I gotta give it to Freddie Gibbs for, you know, kind of just meshing that well in this day and age of sound. Number 6 is Billie Eilish's When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? A lot of y'all might be surprised by this. All right, I did not do a video. I actually was going to do a review video on Ariana Grande, which made my honorable mentions, and I was going to do it on Billie Eilish. But I didn't have the time. I was getting a little upset with myself. I felt like it was getting too late, and I kind of just let the best get over me. But I must say, man, Billie Eilish, for her, you know, dropping, well, she was 17 at the time. It kind of reminded me of Lorde, Pure Heroin. I always tell people that. A couple people in the comments said that same thing. They were just like, yo, I thought I was the only one that thought, you know, Pure Heroin. You know, I said the same thing about Lorde. I love Lorde. Tennis Courts. I remember when our head caught flame. I know that's not Tennis Courts. I'm saying that's one of my favorite tracks. I can't think what it's called. Anyway, let me stop singing again. Billie Eilish dropped a similar vibe, man. I love this. Her. She can sing. All right. Aside from, you know, the very, what is it? What we call that? I can't think what we call it. The whispering shit. ASMR. You know, a lot of people say that she does a lot of ASMR throughout the track. She was whispering. She wasn't really singing. She can't pop a vocal. You hear tracks like I Love You. She really showcased her vocals on there. Goodbye was my second favorite track on this album. You Should See Me Crown is the only track I disliked on this album. That's why it didn't go higher. And a lot of people love that track. I don't know what it is about that track. I feel like it was just really like, that's kind of just the emo side of people coming out. They really fuck with that. I'm not that guy anymore to really go into, you know, the, you should get me in the ground. Like, nah, that's just not, I'm not gonna vibe with that. One thing I did, you know, kind of discredit her for when I first listened to the project was the fact that she was cringy, you know, very edgy. Not cringy, she was very edgy. And not knowing, you know, that she was still a teenager. So her speaking on a lot of these perspectives, you know, we were all once teenagers at a time. We were all kids. We all went through the same heartbreaks. We all felt like we knew what we knew, but we really didn't know, because the only way that you're going to know is if you actually experience it. You have to have some sort of experience to speak on something. It's crazy that, you know, I always catch myself too being a hypocrite with this, but for the most part, I can tend to stick what, you know, I won't really thoroughly speak on something unless I've actually been through that. Things I speak to you guys, I've been through that. When I give you guys advice, I've been through that. My Strange Addictions is another one. When the Party's Over is also one of my favorite tracks. It's exactly what you look like. She's in a room by herself on this bed looking hella creepy. You know, really, this is a girl who is just showcasing all her emotions while I still feel like she's alone. You know what I'm saying? She's alone in this room, and she's going through all these things in her head. It's kind of like before you go to sleep, and you know, all these emotions. When I was younger, man, before I would go to sleep, I would always have all these things rushing through my head, and I would kind of just analyze it in my own space and just be like, what I have to do for this, what I have to do for that, what I have to do. You know, her way of getting that out is just through singing. You know, Elo Milo was another track. A lot of you guys don't know that was a game, and it sounded just like I was in Donkey Kong Country in a factory 64. You guys know Donkey Kong 64 when you're in a factory? That's what Elo Milo sounds like to me. I just think this is a great project. Zanny was another track. Bad Guy, obviously, we know that was the single that she put out that everybody loved. That Like, again, very edgy, but understandable because she's a kid. So I give her that pass, man. She's my number 6. Number 5. This one gonna piss people off. Number 5 is Dripper Drown 2. Kisame Gunna Hishokagi-san. Alright. A lot of people dislike this album. I see a lot of people that put this on their they put it on their worst albums of the year. I get that. A lot of people, so again, when I was speaking at the beginning of the video, where people said I was trying to just be cool, the cool thing to do is like Gunna. I mean, I feel like if you like something, you like it. I always tell people that. Just don't be scared to get your opinion off. Yeah, you may get backlash for it, but if you like it, you like it. And I must say, man, Dripper Drown 2 for me, when you actually listen to it, first listen, yes, I can see where a lot of people are coming from. You're not vibe to it. But when you in the coupe, I got the coupe. I don't know about y'all, I got the coupe. 12 speakers in that bitch, Bose, all right? And when you throw in that thing and you throw Dripper Drown 2 and you start off with one call, you know what I'm saying? You hear Cash War in that shit. You hear Big Shot in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Richard Millie playing, which a track I didn't like at the beginning. Fire. You know what I'm saying? Like Baby Birkin, another one. You hear tracks like Who You Foolin', which was one of my top 3 tracks, favorite tracks of 2019. Who You Foolin'. You know, you hear the Kodo. You hear the Kodo going off and Weezy get on there and he kind of just warps that beat into making a trap Japanese sound. I was like, holy shit. Like, this man is amazing. This man is amazing. And Gunna may have the same flow, but it's kind of the same thing situation with The Baby. The Baby sounds the same on every track. But it's something so addicting about their flow that you just keep putting it on replay. They can make the same track over and over again. And for now, yes, it may get old later, but for now, you are going to vibe with it. You're going to bop with it, man. You got to give credit where credit is due. Gunna had a great year for a reason. If it's your opinion that you didn't like it, I get it. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. A very trap artist. You know, speaking about the streets, speaking about his jewelry. When I listen to Gunna, man, I just feel like I'm cool as fuck. Gunna is the only person I follow on Instagram. I don't know why he's the only person I follow on Instagram, but he's the only person I follow on Instagram. I feel like a boss when I'm listening to. It's kind of the same effect I had with Rick Ross. I just feel like I'm this different persona listening to Gunna. I'm in the car, I'm riding, I got my shades on, and you can't tell me nothing. Feeling like a big shot, you know. And I just feel like you gotta feel that vibe if you gonna vibe with it. I mean, the same thing the way y'all feel about Cardi and Uzi. It's just something you kind of listen to, and if you click with it and if it, you know, sparks for you, it sparks. I mean, and that's exactly what that shit did. All right, my 3 top albums, man. I really flip-flop with this really hard. I flip-flop so hard with this, and, you know, these are really interchangeable. So if you guys have a problem of where they're placed at, just know that they're interchangeable, man. I really had. They could be just 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and it would be the same thing. It'd be all tied for first. The first one being number 3, Tyler, the Creator, Igor. You know, for Tyler to drop that album following post Flower Boy, I thought that was his best work to date. But then following up with Igor, it's crazy how Tyler, Creator has made my top 5 every year. You can kind of see what the sound I like, I love. I love just, you know, the electronic, very, you know what I'm saying, vibey, wavy, emotional, not emo, not too emo like Billie Eilish, but just the emotional music side of things now. I'm more of a producer first, more than lyricism, so that's kind of just why I tend to sounds more than actual lyrical content. I mean, it's true. I have no problem, you know, admitting that. But I felt like Tyler, the Creator, went more of electronic sound this time around. Flower Boy was a little bit more rap, but alternative rap. I felt like this was just kind of full blown, you know, I'm going to do something different. He just went straight electronic. Should be like electronic indie pop. Some rap. That's what I don't know what you label shit is nowadays. I just label it as music, all right? You know, obviously we had Earthquake making my top 5 tracks of the year. Earthquake, Playboy Voldemort doing his thing on there. You know, I can't deny when he gets credit when credit is due. We get tracks like, you know, Running Out of Time, which was arguably was also my favorite track on this album. New Magic Wand, A Boy Is a Gun. Track I really slept on was Gone Gone Thank You and I Don't Love You Anymore when I first listened to the album. I know I didn't, you know, follow up with that, but I gotta say that Gone Gone Thank You was a great track, man. Definitely reminded me of Outkast. I can see what you guys were talking about right there. I Don't Love You Anymore is also another track that was fire. Igor's theme, man. Igor's theme was really crazy. I think y'all said that Uzi was in that track, so that's another track I give credit. You know, Uzi did his thing. I just felt like this project from start to finish was just a great sound from Tyler. You know, kind of recreating himself again. You know, he was dressing that wig all year, the blonde wig. I don't know what kind of approach he was going in. I still don't even know if Tyler, the Creator, is bisexual. Not that that matters or anything, but I'm just glad that, again, you know, from him eating a cockroach, doing Yonkers, and then now doing, you know, Running Out of Time and, you know what I'm saying, Earthquake. It's kind of crazy. Who would have thought that would have been the same rapper that we got? And I just feel like that's just Tyler the Creator as an artist. This is why he's going to go down as, you know, probably a legend. You know, he's going to go down as a legend because of the start of his career, sticking with those times, and still transitioning his music. I always say, man, people can say you're a great rapper for the era you're in, but when you have people like Kanye, you have people like Pharrell, you have people, you know, like Beyonce, it's just moving with the time and still making great music. Not a lot of people can do that. And I gotta say, a person that, you know, kind of fell from that is Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco is my top 3 favorite rapper ever. And one thing that he couldn't do was kind of just stick with the time. You know, Lasers being the start of that, where it was kind of just like, what the fuck, you know, like, and I know that was the label. I don't want to talk about that right now, but that's just kind of just where you get stuck, you know, making Food Liquor and then making the cool fire ass albums and then getting stuck having to make Lasers, that mainstream shit that he actually still did a great job on, just didn't really flow to the masses like it should have. Anyways, that's a whole different topic, man. Number 3 is Tyler the Creator, Igor. Number 2, JPEGMAFIA, All My Heroes Are Cornballs. As a first-time listener of Peggy this year, I didn't get to listen to his project last year. My homeboy was telling me that it was also a great album. I'll probably listen to that sooner or later. But for a first-time listener of All My Heroes Are Cornballs, JPEGMAFIA, Peggy, these track titles were crazy. Beta Male Strategies. Come on, Beta Male Strategies. I know Alpha Male, but Beta Male Strategies. Keenan versus Kel. You know, PTSD. All My Heroes Are Cornballs. Life's Hard. Here's a song about sorrow. Thought Tactics. All these eccentric ass names that we get, you know, from 1 to 18. You guys know I'm not a fan of long albums. I really dislike long albums. But I must say that, man, that JPEGMAFIA having a refreshing sound in each and every track. Also having the Edge ad-lib in there. You think you know me, you think you know me. A lot of people didn't really know that. That's from Edge. That's from wrestling. Christian and Edge. You guys don't know me. The song goes, you think you know me, you know me, you think you know me. Never gonna stop, yeah. That's how the song goes. Or the do-do-do-do. He had different versions of it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. He had You Think You Know Me, and I think that's what kind of just made me laugh and actually smile the whole album because I got that nostalgia feel to him. One of my favorite tracks, top 3 tracks of the year, Beta Male Strategies. I believe I put that at 3. No, I didn't put it at 3. I think I put it at 11. I can't remember right now. Beta Male Strategies was a meow 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 meow. Dun, 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 dun. Like that shit was fire, man. Grimy Waifu was another track that was kind of crazy. Another track, Free the Frail. Yeah. Like, I just love the way that he had that. A lot of people really slept on this album. Okay, not saying again though, it goes with that topic where I said that if you like it, it's a double-edged sword. If you like it, then you're being edgy, you're being cringy, trying to be different because it's cool to be different. If you hate it, then you're part of the norm also because everybody hates it and it's a good thing to do, hate on good music. You see, there's really no winning. That's why I say you just stick to what you know, you stick to what you like, and you just live with it. I mean, because you can't please everybody in this world. You got to understand it. You can't please everybody in this world. JPEGMAFIA, man, the second best album of the year, in my opinion. Just a little long, but even for it to be long and for you to carry all those tracks with all these different sounds, all these different directions you want to go with, you are a weird individual, JPEGMAFIA. But I think that weird suits you because it doesn't come off cringe. It comes off very genuine. I think that's another thing too that nowadays, man. A lot of people are trying to go into that weird cool route and, you know, to be different because that's what sells nowadays. It's 2 things. Look, you're either weird or you're not. You're either cool or you're not. You're either different or you're not. You're either weird, you're an anime nerd or you're not. Like, shit like that is kind of just what you chose in your life. I tell you guys this all the time, each and every time. People will see through the fake. It's a facade. If it's really a facade, people will see through that. People see through fakeness real quick because it's hard to wear a mask 24/7. I'll tell you that. Sooner or later, the mask gonna fall off for like 5 minutes and be like, wait, you didn't do that before. The fake will show the realness is here to stay. And I feel like JPEGMAFIA, this is who he is. He's weird as fuck, but he wears that shit on his motherfucking sleeve. And we're gonna keep it like that. So, but my number one album, man. My number one album, man, actually came up. My number one album actually crept up on me because I was writing this shit, and as I was doing it and was listening to these albums, I moved it up. It went from 7 to 5 to 1. That's where it went. So this is my number one. Don't be mad about it. It's just as much as Go Loco was my favorite track of the year. Sir, Chasing Summers, man. My number one album of the year. I had to change my shirt because I spilled goddamn Coke all over my black shirt, so I had to change my shirt. But Yes, man. Chasing Summers is my #1 album this year. I was contemplating on, whether it's going to be, like I said, 5, now 1, before 7. Shit, at one point it was, it was honorable mentions, but as I was listening to it more and more this year, because I didn't do a video on it, as I was listening to it more and more, I just had to say it was a beautiful, soulful ride from Sir. Sir is probably one of the most underrated singers we have in today's music. Last year, his album came out in November, and that was also another album that I didn't get a chance to listen to. But I took some gems from there. One of them being in Devils. I was in Boston at the Bodega. Was it the Bodega? That's what it's called. The one with the supermarket. You go in there and it's really a clothing store. I know they got concerts up there, but they got the Bodega too as well. And I went there, and I must say I heard this song, and I just love the aesthetic to it. I love the feel, and that's what made me a Sir fan to this day. Now we get into this new album, Chasing Summers. I must say, man, like from the start of the album to the end of the album, obviously we got Hair Down, which made my top 25 tracks of the year. And having Hair Down with Kendrick Lamar, his best feature to date, I would say his best verse on a feature. That started the journey for a lot of people. For a lot of the people that love Sir, that love this album. You can't say that you dislike that track, Hair Down. Hair Down is already a vibe with the guitar and kind of just, sounded very dreamy, very cloudy. It's breathtaking, man, when you hear a track like that, Head Down, and then having just a little rap from Kendrick Lamar. But that's not even the highlight of the album. The highlight of the album for me was John Redcorn. If you guys don't watch King of the Hill, and you guys don't know who John Redcorn is, I tweeted this. It was about 3 weeks ago, where I said that it's funny how I just now noticed that the character he's referring to, or the song that is about John Redcorn, who in the show, no one knows that that's his kid, and John having a secret life with Nancy, and because no one knows, everybody in the neighborhood basically knows except Dale, and it's kind of just wild when you think about it. Like, he's alone. He's not alone, but really he's alone. So the whole track you can hear Sir kind of just saying, alone, baby, I'm alone. Why am I alone? Because, and it's really revolved around this one character's life, but at the same time, it can also be applied to real life situations, such as probably Sir's or anybody else that's feeling that song, wants to put their own experiences in there. I thought that was just an amazing track before the backstory, and again, the guitar was played all throughout. The electric guitar was played all throughout this album, and I just love it, man. The soul, I just love soul, man. You guys can say whatever you want. I'm a soft boy, whatever. I mean, I've been through a lot of shit now. My birthday just passed, at the age of 29, man. I got stories for y'all for days, and I don't really speak on my ass for no reason. I mean, I've been through it. Everything that y'all said y'all been through, I've done it. I've done some wild shit, and I try to, tell y'all as much as I can. This is why I relate to it. Track 3 was another one that really hit me, man. You can't save me. Like, one of the most relatable tracks I've ever heard in my life, because, I mean, it's kind of a situation that I'm going through right now for myself, like, you can't save me. At the end of the day, man, you can't love no one before if you don't love yourself. That's a common quote, and it's true, because for me, I have trust issues. I'm not saying I don't love myself. I have trust issues, and I can have the perfect girl in front of my face, but I will fuck it up myself because I'm not ready. I'm just broken, I guess you could say. I'm just not ready to be saved, and I'll do certain things to kind of just hurt people. Not intentional, but it comes off intentional. So I feel like right there that you can't save me. You can't save me from myself. Ooh. Like, Sir was speaking his heart out. I feel like when Sir sings, he doesn't sing. He cries a story. That's what I feel like Sir does. We get L.A. Lisa or La Lisa featuring Smino. Having a Smino feature, we know how motherfucking smooth Smino is. For all the Smino listeners out there, we get that track. That wasn't even the other track. The next track that really hit me was New Sky. Like, we'll listen to New Sky.
This is familiar. I feel ya. How can that be? New sky, new sky.
That's when I solidified that this album is my shit. Those first 6 tracks is all I needed to hear to know that they're There's a mosquito in my room and I'm about to go kill it. Be right back. You get into a track like Still Blue with Jill Scott. Jill Scott, the legendary singer. We all love me some Jill Scott, man. She loves me. La, 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 ooh. That's why I kind of took it to heart, man. When someone told me that I got bad music taste, I was kind of just sitting there like, damn, man. I mean, is my back catalog not great enough? You know, me listening to Isley Brothers, you know, Roy Ayers, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Like, come on now, Jamie Foxx back in the day having a great underrated album. I mean, I listen to a lot of soul shit, man. I'm just not a rap listener. That's kind of offended me, you know what I'm saying? That hit me the heart. But, you know, we get tracks like Still Blue where, you know, you get this electric, you know, dreamy feeling like Still Blue, putting you in this hypnosis. And it's just Sir just, you know, singing your ears off, man. No homo, man. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. I'm just saying, like, you know, you got to give respect where respect is due. You know, I listened to a lot of Usher back in the day, and, you know, Sir kind of gave me that same feeling, man. I got to tell you, man, Confessions is one of the best albums of all time. I mean, for real. You know, it changed. It changed. Look, the man cheated, and he came out Confessions, and you could really hear his confession throughout that album. I feel like right here, while Chasing Summers, you know, it has a lot. I do see look, it says Sir. And then it has Miami above, and it has Tampa below. I like that. That was kind of cool because I'm migrated between those two places. So, you know, when it says Chasing Summer, I can kind of see. I don't really understand where the whole concept comes from the album, but I guess you can kind of say because there's a lot of heartbreak in it. But I guess it's kind of that summer vibe. I was more under the impression that you get with somebody when it's the winter time, but I mean, I guess that, you know, with Sir, he's just trying to chase a great summer, you know, because it does make sense, though, when we get to the recipe and we get to L.A. I've never been, so I can't really talk about it, but I've heard stories from various others that saying that, like, once you go to L.A., man, it's kind of a great scene, you know, it's something that you can't really kind of take away, and I'm about to get your ass. Well, you better not come back this way, because I'm gonna... And I've heard that, you know, L.A. is just kind of a place where you just really don't leave. Now, I did hear that it is kind of just like, I don't know if you guys seen You Season 2, where a lot of Instagram shit, everybody's really snobby, everybody's really trying to, you know, be better than the next person, where followers really matter. Social media is kind of the king over there, but also heard that it's also a very artistic place, somewhere where you can fall in love, just like how you see in the movies, where you get those moments in life where it's just like, damn, you know, like, I need to kill this mosquito. Get your ass. Get your ass, nigga. BAM! Nigga! Got your bitch ass, nigga. You thought I was playing, bro? Bro, you can't just be doing that in my vicinity, nigga, when I'm trying to make a video. Gives a great representation on the outro right there with LA, making it seem like it's such a beautiful place, and he would love to go there. You know, he just got over a girl there. You know, he had a great, you know, time, and you know, I always say there's those memories that kind of just are instilled in your mind that you can never get back, you know, and once you're in that moment, you're in that moment. So always live in that moment. I know I said in the moment 4 times, but I can't emphasize how much I tell you guys that, because I'm going to say it again. Memories are just memories. They are that. You can't really live in the moment. I can't really tell you to live in the moment 4 years later. That's something for you to decide. You got to kind of just put your phone down, put everything down, take the moment in, because in 4 or 5 years, they might not be your same friends. It might not be the same people, but at that time, you know that was a great time in your life, and you enjoyed that. And that's something you'll never get back. And that's something that no one can ever take away from you. I'm sorry for the long... one more I gotta talk about. That's Why I Love You featuring Sabrina Claudio. They really made a track about friends with benefits sound like this was some kind of love story. But when you really listen to the lyrics, it was about, I get on top, I ride you, and then I leave. That's what Sabrina Claudio said. Sir said the same thing. They really made a great track about friends with benefits. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like the new age R&B. Because back in the day, they were talking about actually being in love, being married. But right here, they're talking about being friends with benefits. But they're making it seem so romantic and so sensual. But really, it's not when you listen to the word. But it's just the fact that Sabrina Claudio is so seductive. She's a walking aphrodisiac. I always say that. Shout out Sabrina Claudio. I love you, girl. You my wife. Next to Georgia Smith. I love both of y'all. Anyways, you get back to Sir. Sir is another one who kind of just, you know, gives that feeling like this is actually supposed to be a track where, hey, the lovers, for the lovers out there, this is one's for y'all. But really, it's not. It's for the side niggas and the side bitches. Like, that's what it's for. Anyways, man, I don't want to do too much more talking, man. It's my album of the year. I could talk about it way more for like another 2 hours if I really had the time to. But that's my album of the year, man. I know y'all probably are mad about it, but that's just how I feel. It was an R&B album, and it is what it is, man. I feel like this is not a rap album. I'm a guy of all genres. And I feel like if your album is good, your album is good no matter what it is. So I feel like for Sir, same as Blood Orange last year that I didn't put on my list, but I'm mad because Blood Orange would have definitely been my #1 album of the year if I would have gave it a chance. Sir has did the same thing Blood Orange has done for me all throughout the last year and a half, because as you guys saw on my Spotify playlist or my Spotify replay, Blood Orange was my #1 or top 2 listen of the year next to Drake. So it's kind of just like, you know, I love R&B shit. I love soul. I don't even love R&B at this point. I love soulful shit. I love soulful shit with a message. We're gonna keep it like that, man. Get in the comments below. Let me know what is your top 10. I just want to say, man, thank y'all for 2020, man. Thank y'all for, 2019. Thank y'all for 2019, man. It was a great year. You guys have been supporting me on YouTube for 4 years, whether that is Twitch, whether that is my Patreon. Shout out to all my Patreons out there for supporting me. Hella, that's crazy how y'all, that's what, is that $400, $300 a month? And that's $1 in a dream. That's $1 in a dream. I don't ask you for nothing crazy. You guys get my playlist. You guys support me monthly. That's wild. That helps me a long way doing this YouTube shit. How volatile this shit is, especially with my channel, because I curse and they don't want to put me on a recommended. But I'm going to work harder this year. Thank you guys for all the support, man. You know, 4 years running. We had 180K subs. 300K next year. I'm going to try, or this year. I'm going to try to get 300K this year. I'm going to try to grind for y'all, see where it goes. And I'm here, man. Miami is now someone to be known in music, whether it's a funny, whether it's me being real, giving you guys life advice, and whether it's sometimes in my rare moments where I'm very insightful. But just know that I'm always thankful for it, man. I'm never going to change. I'm always going to be the same cool cat, always laughing, always smiling, always talking about eating Tide Pods. Hate protects. Hate Playboy Voldemort. Still support some of his music. Hate Lil Uzi Vert. Still support some of his music as well. And at the end of the day, remember, it's just always love. I'm always going to be the same person. I'm never going to shy away from nothing. Logic has a bad last 3 albums have been bad, but he is still one of the artists that helped build my channel. Look, I'm always going to be real with myself. Everything I say I do, I mean it, because that's how I feel at the time, or that's how I feel, period. So that's all I want to say about that, man. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank y'all for subscribing. Go ahead. Hey, last video for 2019, first video 2020, 3,000 likes, man. Show me what y'all got, man. Show me if y'all still here supporting. Just give me the like just for showing me that y'all been here for the last 4 years supporting your boy. And I'm going to keep it like that, man. Get in the comment box below. Put in the comment box below what is your album of the year. And until the next time, which is going to be sometime this week, we are out. Thank y'all for being the most amazing Me and the gang out there. And till the next time, we are out. Peace.